Fight a new rival. This seems like it's already aligned correctly. Yeah, my corners seem to all be good. Oh. Low fierce times 3. Catching people looking for jumps and high parries, I guess. Chun-Li still woke up with a jump. Oh, that whiff punish. Christ. Must be nice. Having a 3-frame full screen attack. Oh, that's it. Ooh, that wasn't it. It wasn't the hit. It wasn't the right frame. That might have been, I don't know. I don't know Chun-Li's real animations. I'm wondering if that was the right frame, but it didn't hit on its first frame due to, like, distance. But I don't know if that's a thing. If memory serves, Makoto's SA1 is surprisingly big. One kind of cool thing about Makoto is that she can cancel, if she gets parried, she can cancel into like a light Hayate. And it'll probably hit them out of whatever they're trying to do to her. Nothing happened to them. They're still there. I just haven't done one in a long time. Hi. Anyway, Makoto can cancel to light Hayate. And the opponent, it's like really unsafe to do. Oh, that's the frame. That's a frame. You have a lot of leniency on crouching Chun-Li. Anyway, the opponent tries to wait and parry or block the light Hayate. You can potentially have your attack parried and then have the opponent do nothing to you as the Makoto player. And thus not get punished. So she's got an extra little layer of safety when her cancelable buttons get parried due to the speed of light Hayate. Of course, like Shotos and stuff can do that too with uppercut, so. But I would say, wow, nice. I would say that Makoto's light dash punch is somewhat safer than an uppercut. Oh, this is how it's going to be, huh? Recycling between a Makoto, a Yan, and a Chun-Li. Excuse me. Today I got a comment on YouTube. It was on the Kuroda SBO run video I did. But I made a sound that was like, ooh, like that. After something cool happened. Remy did jump back strong and it got parried, and then he did another jump back strong, and he did another strong on the way down. It was pretty badass. But someone left a comment on that like noise I made, and it was like Minecraft hit sound. And then I don't know, I never played Minecraft. So I listened to the hit sounds and it was exactly the same. Then I started thinking about, oh, he missed the palm. I started thinking about the kind of person that would like leave that comment. It was funny. That's plus if it hits. Nice. Nice! Oh, that was Karakusa. I see you, Makoto. Backdash. Block a dive kick and backdash. Makoto probably doesn't fight Yun so differently than Oro does. I mean, that's like a gross exaggeration, but more like the way that she's controlling his movement is probably not too far away from how I would control it. Got a kind of similar limitedness on the ground, and a similar dominance in the air. Oof. Raw dash punch is like hard to master with Yun. It's so risky. Yun gets hurt so bad. That was a failed super, I think. A super is not a bad play there, to be honest. It's invincible. And Yun's very likely to be doing something. EX dash punch was terrible. Cost meter, and it has like a super low success rate because it's not fast or invincible. Whoa. Makoto's got no EX chop invincibility in this game. It's just super or nothing. Super 1 or nothing, because super 2 isn't invincible either. Nice. She's dead. Oh, that was dumb. Just do a fucking shoulder combo. She was almost dead. Didn't need to do anything fancy. How did he fucking throw that away? Okay. I can't even wrap my head around not killing. It's at some point in that Gene. I thought it was free. That was actually a punish on the dive. Cool. If you get your jump medium kick parried, or like if it hits only the jump medium kick, I don't know if the dive kick actually changes your jump arc in any way. In general, I feel like the dive kick from the TC doesn't change your jump arc for Yang. Pog. There you go. That's a cool little combo. Nice and basic. It's mind-bogglingly easy to do a Gene combo if you use dash punches, but it also does shit for damage. It's still very easy to do a Gene combo with repeated medium shoulders. I dropped it. That was good for him. That was like a good drop. He got a damage reset because of that. I would say Yun's 2-hit air TC is a lot more useful than Yang's for air to airs. The hitboxes are kind of more useful. Air to ground, I guess Yang's is probably a little bit better. Before I'm caught up, probably about 8. Maybe a set. No promises. I got people I want to hang out with tonight. The last a-cho, I don't know. They're definitely going up to at least 410, which is like a month ago. Hi. Ah, the fake out. I hate that. It's a bad feel. There's a consistent block timing you can do, but still. It's like they went for the overhead, and they almost spaced it perfectly, so it would have been an overhead they could link out of. But they actually like either misspaced it or it was a bait. I don't know if young players do it on purpose or not. Oh, that... it's alright, that wouldn't have killed. He got the kill with the follow-up anyway. Hi, everyone. Yeah, wake up EX. Weird. Weird neutral jump parry. Cool defensive measure. Dive kick users are really on some other shit. Oh, he got out. Sneaky. It's very difficult to contest Yun. This could go either way. One record kills. He probably parried anticipating a dive kick. And then no dive kick came, and then he was a little bit flustered, perhaps? Or maybe he was just already, like, he'd already parried and he was buffering a motion. Normally you can just parry and block, but if you're parrying and buffering a motion, maybe you aren't blocking. For Yun, yes. For Yang, no. It's not super hard, I don't think. I think close medium punch into light kick is easier. Nice. Good parry, good punish. Yang has no meterless attack that combos from light, and Yun does. That's not a huge deal, but it's kind of nice. I have not played Grand Blue. Oh look, Crouching Chun-Li gets hit late by Universal Overhead. He did a reset. If Chun-Li never touches the ground, it seems like it doesn't reset the damage. And obviously it doesn't matter if it resets the juggle potential, because Gene resets the juggle potential every hit. So I'm not 100% sure why Yun players reset the opponent during Gene. I've got two theories, and I think they're both true. Theory 1 is that it resets the meter scaling at the end of the combo. Even though it doesn't reset the damage scaling, or doesn't reset it that much or something like that, Yun builds more meter at the end of the combo if he like deliberately resets and then juggles. My other theory is that it offers Chun-Li, or whatever opponent, an opportunity to parry, and it's like a it's like a bait to try and get them to parry it. Because if you do parry it, it does reset your damage and meter scaling and whatnot for the opponent. And it's even if you get the parry, it's very unlikely you'll hit the ground. Yam will probably just reaction, do a bunch more attacks to blow through whatever parry sequence you've got. It's a very winning scenario for Yan. So I think it doesn't really matter much what you do there as the person getting juggled by Gene. Doesn't really, you don't really have to try and like parry your way down. And in fact, it might be bad too. But I do find it kind of curious that some Yans go for that little reset into juggle instead of just keeping the continuous juggle. I think it's just for extra meter. But I'm not sure of that. I've definitely noticed a disparity. Oh, if that was super cancelled, that would have been really good. The shoulder. Because it happened to hit, and he got the meter right then. If he was going to super anyway. Hi. Ah, very nice. Oh, that was nice. He could have done short faster when he landed. That would have been a combo. Tricky. I hate twin dive kicks. They're not that good. It's definitely better than not having a dive kick, don't get me wrong. Oof. Oh, that was nice. The empty jump into low leg kick. Oh, he parried kind of high. Yang probably could have done, after that parry, he probably could have done close medium kick and had it be a punish. And then he would have just won. Because that juggle would have killed. Where's the other half? He did jab but no fierce. Fierce is the meat of the damage on that. I never liked low forward activate. It's okay. It's certainly less likely to be parried than like most other activate setups. Like shoulder activate can be parried in either direction. So Dudley, we've gotten the revolving door of top tier characters. Beefy damage. One fucking good connect on Yan and half his health is gone. Very cool. That low strong is a surprisingly good anti-air button. Well, you wouldn't use it just by itself. Well, you could. Depends on the matchup. But in combination with parry, it's a surprisingly good little attack. The hitbox and hurtbox on shoulder are so fucking stupid. It cleanly goes under a lot of my pokes. It's not fair. Yan is really short during the animation for shoulder. Ooh, very nice. Kirky's here. Why is it always going to be them competing? Just have them both. I like both of them. They have nothing to like, gameplay-wise. It's not like they've got any, like, you know, overlap with each other. I in general like Shadowloo. I like every single one of them. And that's including both Sagat and Fang. That's a cool little way to activate. Oh, see that? That time he got it perfectly spaced. There's an overhead that led to a full combo. No, I'm not going to win Evo online. I probably won't even enter. It would be kind of cool to say I entered Evo, since I've never done that. I mean, I think Dudley was a reference to Boxer, to Balrog, but he's deliberately not the same at all. It's the same way that I feel like Makoto. That Makoto I'm actually less certain of, even though they've confirmed it. Makoto is a reference to the Shotos, but not the same at all. Dude, it would actually be hype as fuck if Low Tier God won, despite not being allowed to enter. Flo is actually super duper good, to be honest. Well, I don't know how good he is at 5. I feel like I haven't seen him play 5 in either forever or not at all. I literally can't remember. No, I remember watching him. He like busted into a Low Tier God stream. But I remember Flo in SF4 era was like... He was like probably one of the most slept on American players, if not the most slept on. He was like as good as like a lot of Japanese pros. I feel like he was just unlucky, or like he choked or something like that. There were a lot, like he was like good enough that he could have won more than he did. Flo could have had his day if it wasn't like Justin or Ricky at the same events or whatever. Hi. God, this looks oppressive. I hear Necro players say this is his worst matchup. And just looking at it, ugh. FF12 is good. That kind of shit helps a lot. More than you would probably guess, having played a matchup immediately prior, even against another player. You can get... Street Fighter is often testing to see how well-rounded you are against a lot of different players and a lot of different characters and a lot of different scenarios. You know what I mean? So it's kind of surprising how ready you can get for one player with one character with like very specific scenarios. You don't normally see like that kind of practice. The top level players must do it, don't get me wrong. But normally that's something that just very slowly happens over a long period of time. It's like, oh, I fought like 500 Rashids, so I tend to know the buttons that I can do in specific places that work against Rashids. That's like most people. But if you like actually fucking buckle down and watch a particular Rashid and things he does in particular scenarios, if you're working against, you know, 1, a player, 2, a specific character, and 3, mix-ups that that player of that specific character looks for, you can get really fucking ready for that match. That's how you can have like otherwise silver players beating up like grandmasters, is because they're playing like a very, very specific thing that they have a lot of practice for. I saw someone, Reapprentice? No, maybe. No. Who was it? It was, no, I don't know why I said Reapprentice. Well, I do know. It's because the guy I'm thinking of was a replayer. But he was like one of the best replayers on SF5 online. Who am I thinking of? I don't remember. He made some video where he talked about so he did like a Q&A, and one of the questions he got asked was like, I'm silver, but I can beat my grandmaster friend. And the player doing the Q&A like straight up didn't believe him And to me, that's very believable. I have friends who can, like, go back and forth with me who are, like, scrubs when they play against other people. It's just because normally your rank reflects how well-rounded you are. But if you only play one guy over and over, you know, you can get good at the things that he exposes you to while getting exposed to absolutely nothing else. And it's quite easy to play a fighting game against one person only. Vaughn, Red Mage, Balthier, Machinist. A lot of people like that one. Vanilla White Mage, Bosch, Monk. Where's your Ash? You don't have Ash? I mean, I guess that's what fundamentals are. Just being ready for a whole bunch of different things. Being a little ready for a whole bunch of different things. As opposed to, wow, that hit weird. As opposed to being ready, super ready for very specific things. That could have been a punish for the kill. That was probably going to be cancelled to, like, EX Fireball. Or Tatsu, or nothing. Could be anything. I'm guessing, but it literally could have been any one of Ken's special moves. Including super. Nice pickup. Games with bigger rosters or more unbalanced games. Third Strike is actually a halfway decent example of that. Not because it's super unbalanced and not because it has a super big roster, but just games with characters that are quite different would be more accurate. If you get exposed to something you've never, if you get beat up by someone doing something you have no real exposure to, it can blow you up even if you're playing like a good character and they're playing a bad character. My school's going okay. I've only gotten A's on all my tests so far. That's not true. I got an 89 on my most recent practicum. But the lowest score is dropped. And I've got 3 exams for that class now. 4 exams. And my lowest score is that 89. And there's 7 exams total. So, like, literally, like, it's kind of looking like if I get one more good practicum score, I can literally get a 0 on the last one and still get an A in the class. I'm working at a radiologic technology degree. Technologist. The law thing didn't pan out, so now I'm going for medicine. It's only an associate's, but it pays pretty nicely, and you don't have to do medical school or anything. And I'm also doing it at like a community college, so it's pretty cheap. Nuclear. It's like X-rays and stuff. Melee seems like a game where, like, a lot of characters are not very good, but have one specific thing that's actually, like, super crazy. Like, a couple characters cannot be out of shield. And what that basically means is, like, if they block anything, they can punish it. It's like a better version of the fucking Darkstalkers guard. What are they called? You can, like, DP out of guard in Darkstalkers. But I think Bowser can do that, and Samus can do that. Very nice. Most people don't consider Smash a fighting game. I think you might have gotten a little bit too caught up in the And too caught up drinking the Kool-Aid. The anti-Smash Kool-Aid. I think most people don't really concern themselves with the genre of Smash at all. I've certainly heard a lot of people say it's a party game, but what the fuck does that mean? Are you saying that Smash is the same as Imagine Party Babies? Are you saying that Smash is the same genre as Mario Party? I think most people just say it because they don't want to say that Smash is a fighting game. They want to deny Smash the fighting game status. But, like, what does that mean either? Like, who the fuck cares? The genres exist so that games that play similar can, like, be rated in a similar way. Understood in a similar way. And Smash plays a lot more like fucking Street Fighter than it does like Mario Party. That being said, I think that they are their own little subgenre within fighting games. I think the thing about fighting games is that most of them are super duper similar on a fundamental level. Like this way with the timer and the HP bars and the super bars. Like most fighting games follow that approximate formula. But they don't have to. It's just they mostly do. Nice. Good pickup too. Anyway, the one fucking fighting game that doesn't follow that formula is treated like its own game. Its own genre. It's like, bro, the characters are still fighting. The fundamental ideas are still there, where like your various directions and buttons result in attacks. What about the fucking wrestling games? What about like UFC on like PS3? Is that a fighting game? I think the obvious answer is yes. But that's quite different from this, and that's quite different from Smash. A few companies have tried to make that competitively oriented wrestling game, but it's really hard. Anyway, that's my take. Make it stop! Dudley's oppressive ass fucking supers. I think Terry is just obscure enough that I feel like the layman wouldn't know who the fuck he is. Like, yeah, if you played fucking... Like, what... if you're not an arcade goblin, you probably wouldn't recognize him, right? If you don't play fighting games, there's a good chance that you haven't played any King of Fighters. And, like, what else? Fatal Fury? Is Terry in anything besides King of Fighters and Fatal Fury? If you didn't play at arcades, you're not going to have played Fatal Fury. Or, like, maybe if you had, like, Fatal Fury 2 or something on Super Nintendo. But it's not like home ports of Fatal Fury were super famous. Gara was a little bit. Yeah, it depends on nationality too, unironically. It depends on what arcade machines you would have commonly in your area. Them's Fighting Herds is officially out. I would say even most Street Fighter characters are not super recognizable to the layman. Ryu and Ken are now, not just because of Smash, but it helps because of Smash. And I would say that most people probably know who Zangief is and Chun-Li. But after that, it gets difficult. I feel like you get a pretty even split of people who know who Blanca is and people who don't. Guile, I think most people would know, if only for Guile's theme. Goes with everything. Tekken, I don't know who like the most known characters are, to be honest. Probably Yoshimitsu would be the obvious one. Oof. Reversal Super. Eddie. people mashing buttons in Tekken 3, Eddie and Xiaoyu, because they were available during Tekken 3's demo mode, which everyone played. I don't know if everyone would recognize Kazuya, to be honest, even though he's like literally the mascot of this series. I don't know if he's instantly recognizable. Heihachi, maybe. Jin is also a maybe. The flame pants are kind of like unique. Devil Jin, probably more than all of them. Paul, probably. I don't think any Guilty Gear character is recognizable for the layman. Your best bet would probably be Soul Bad Guy or Faust. Very nice. Oh, see that parry? You see Ken's movement on Wake Up there? Looking for that high parry. Maybe the high double parry. Most iconic Nitro plus Blasters character. I feel like there's an actual answer to that. It's the girl with the knife things. What's her name? Omura? I don't remember if that's it. Because she's been in other stuff. Oh yeah, it's Saber. Saber's in the game. Duh, of course it's Saber. I mean, they've all been in other stuff, but you know. Most iconic Killer Instinct character is probably Fulgore, I would say. Or maybe Spinal. I don't know, it could be like Cinder or Glacius or whatever. It could be either of them, because they're both quite unique. Ugh! One hit only? Damn, it sucks to be a Ken player. I would say Voldo and Ivy, yeah, more so than Nightmare or Siegfried or anyone like that. God, that dizzy bar. MK, I feel like, doesn't even have that many super recognizable characters. You probably got like 6. You got Scorpion and Sub-Zero for sure. Reptile's a big maybe. You got Raiden. I'm not going to say Liu Kang, but maybe Liu Kang. Probably Jax, because of his metal arms. But it's not like a super lot, right? Like, who else besides those guys? Johnny Cage, I'll give a probably. Shao Kahn, I'll give a probably. Quan Chi, maybe not. Melina, probably. Yeah, I would say Melina's actually up there. Probably more so than Katana, in fact. Melina and Katana because of, like, you know... I don't want to say porn, but also porn. Not that people are looking up porn, but just, like, you know... sexiness is what I meant to say. They're likely to get shared because they're hot. Oh yeah, Goro. I would say Goro's probably one of the most recognizable ones. I feel like Goro would have been more recognizable like 10 or 20 years ago than now, though. Mortal Kombat has always just thrown shit at the wall and seen what sticks with their characters. They do like just enough to characterize the new introductions, that they can see what people like and what people don't like. Who did we get in MK11? I feel like it was a bunch of washes. Garrus is kind of cool. I don't like some of his animations, but I'm not gonna bash on him. He's got a pretty good design visually, and like his actual gameplay design is kind of cool as well. I think the Collector is stupid, and I think that Cetrion is a cool idea, but stupid. What else? I feel like there were 4. Who else is like a new character in MK11? It's not great. They didn't do a super good job with the MK11 characters. MK10 had a lot of new characters, and most of them were pretty recognizable. No, I don't think they were all iconic, but they just had a lot of new ones, and some of them were pretty good. I don't know how I feel about any of the 4 fucking kids. I think probably Takeda had the best design of the 4. I think that Cassie's was kind of phoned in. They did everything obvious with her. It's like she's just fucking Sonya Blade's appearance with Johnny Cage's personality, and that's not bad. She's probably the best of the 4, but she's the most like. She's the most. I don't know. She's not the coolest design or anything. She's just the coolest person. But the Kotal Rangers are super cool. I like almost all of them. Devore is good. Aaron Black is good. Ferrator is cool. Kotal Khan himself is really cool. Who else? I mean, there's Ermac, but he's like, you know, not new. I would say the Kotal Rangers are super good designs all around. Whoa. Oh, baby. Empty jump EXTP. I can't even do that. I don't charge fast enough. Fred and Tor were just kind of working for Kotal, and then they died. There was a fan patch for MK9 recently. Like, I do think the balance and gameplay are probably the worst, but I don't know. There's like a balancing philosophy difference between 9 and like 10 and 11 that kind of makes 9 interesting retrospectively. They just kind of like, there wasn't balance. They just kind of like threw various tools on every character and waited to see like who ended up being strong. You know what I mean? But because of that, you have a lot of stuff that's kind of like stupid on MK9. I've never heard about that, but I would believe it based on the game. Like, a lot of characters in MK9 can kind of break the rules. You know what I mean? Like Quan Chi literally has like an unblockable he can just true block string into. And then the opponent can't reversal out of it because it leaves them standing. So he can then get another true block string into another unblockable. So if he has full meter, he can literally just do like 50% of your health in unblockable damage. He just makes you block and then he gets like fucking EX whatever. And then in the process of doing that 3 times, if they're blocking, you'll build another meter and do it a 4th time. I wouldn't say everyone has it in MK9, but yeah, it's certainly pretty. Like I remember the Noob Saibot zoning. Remember that? Noob Saibot trades very favorably with projectiles using his clone. And it's like you've got to kind of base your entire gameplay around getting around it. It's not like super duper strong. But if you don't like, if you're trying to play your own game, it doesn't work. You've got to play Noob's game for a little bit. Shiva's like the worst character in the game. Shiva has almost nothing. Shiva's only gimmicks. But like a lot of like supposedly low tier characters have like something weird that they can do. Like Jade. Like Striker. Yeah. It's an interesting game, I feel. It was fun watching the meta develop. I'll say that. It was a much better spectator game than MK11 is. Because everyone was coming out with some weird shit every time the game was played. It's like, bro, check out how long this unbreakable combo is from Shao Kahn. Or, fuck, Shang Tsung. Remember that shit? It's all projectiles. You can't break projectiles. Shang Tsung just hits you with fucking 10 projectiles. The whole combo's unbreakable. Remember Cyrax Unblockables? That shit won Evo. Remember Kung Lao's dive kick? Remember Cyber Sub-Zero's dive kick? Remember Ermac force pulling from halfway across the screen? Giant hitbox? Injustice 1 was like that as well. Where every character had some kind of broken stuff. And just, you know, they just waited and watched and patched whenever it got too bad. That was the game where you had shit like, Green Arrow's Unblockable Super. Whoa. Actually, Unblockables in general in Injustice 1, they were stupid. The way Interactables were unblockable was crazy. Anyway, I think Injustice 1 and MK9, while worse than more modern versions of the same games, were interesting because of the way that the meta developed. MKX also was like... MKX had better balance in general because they were a bit better at it, but it was also like, hey, like let's just give every character some crazy stuff. But because of the variation system, every character had 3 different crazy things for the most part. So the chances of a character having at least one good thing was pretty decent. And then combine that with the fact that that game got patched to shit. So eventually, it ended up having pretty good balance. Oh, Superman's like 2-frame super or whatever that went to full screen. Remember that? Remember Superman having a 2-frame super that like went all the way across the screen and had armor? And it punished all these things that were like supposed to be safe. When you parry, and it means nothing. I think pretty much every DLC character, not all of them, but like most of them, were really stupid at some point or another. In MKX. It looked like he blocked, yep. Wow, I should have kept the same side. I know it's annoying. Yang, it feels like Yang, even if you hold backwards, Yang will still pass over your head. You might have to like backdash. I usually just, as the Oro, I usually just take the cross up. Because like I get a really strong punish that like finds the corner anyway. Oof. Yo, Ken's super goes about a third screen. Superman's is like a frame faster and goes like full screen. I don't even think it appreciably slows down for having to travel farther. It goes from like 2 frames to 4 frames if it's going full screen. Something like that. Fighting games are a nightmare to balance, to be honest. The age of hotfixes is ultimately a good thing. It keeps fighting games relevant for longer, and also makes them more balanced overall. And balance is good. I actually think that you can kind of be crazier now that hotfixes are a thing. They're trying to play safer. But I feel like in an era where you can hotfix, you can kind of actually do the Mortal Kombat strategy of like throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Step 1, design for fun. And step 2, balance after it becomes apparent that one of the characters is a bit too fun. That sweep is pretty bold. I have no opinion on Sim Show. Wow! Hyper optimal punish. Holy shit. Good shit. That was just good, I think. Love seeing me a hyper optimal punish. I can't even do that. I've done it. I've labbed it. No matter when I get my parry. Excuse me. No matter when I get my parry, I don't get a jumping combo as Zora versus Ken. I cannot jump out of Ken's Shipu at all. If I parry the first hit, second hit, third hit, or fourth hit and hold up, I get hit. Same with holding up back. So my best punish is literally like parry into stand strong, which I also get if I just block. So the only reason I would parry is if I was about to die. I would be surprised if there were only 44,000 team matchups in Marvel 2. I would have thought it would be higher than that. I would have thought it'd be breaking at least 100K. What is it, like 50-some characters? He's using 3 characters per team, no doubles. Cool. Cool land here. My favorite thing is when people complain about licensed characters in fighting games, and then the companies are always like, oh, by the way, licensed characters sold the most of any character. I hate licensed characters in fighting games too, to be honest. But they're literally the most popular characters in like every fighting game that has licensed characters. Remember Cole in Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Retrospectively, that shit is so weird. I'll give him Mega Man and Pac-Man, that's fine. That one makes sense. Tora and Kuro is a bit weird, but... And then fucking Cole. It's like, huh? Mega Man was actually one of my favorite characters. He was funny. I unironically, genuinely want a Mega Man title starring that Mega Man, and I want it really badly. I like when companies are, oh, that stand job. Why was it a stand job? I like when companies are kind of willing to, like, you know, make fun of their own body of work. It feels like, well, that's what Wario is. Wario Land is like a, like, overall, Wario Land is like a parody of Mario. What if Mario was an ugly, greedy gremlin? Whoa. What if Mario had no redeeming qualities? I like when they're willing to break the formula a lot, to be honest. Mega Man and Mega Man X are too similar. Mega Man Zero was a bit different, but it kind of took the bad parts of MMX, in my opinion, and developed them. Battle Network I fucking loved. That one keeps some of the core stuff, but changes almost everything else. Like, you keep the fact that Mega Man beats enemies and gets powers, but that's like all you keep. Well, Land 3 is a super good game. And I don't know when I'll ever play Yoshi's Island on stream. More subtle differences to MM when you understand it. You see that they aren't that close. I don't know, dude. It's still a marathon platformer, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, you can dash and you can jump up walls, but you're still like going to 8 stages and beating Robot Masters. You see what I'm saying? That's pretty close in my book. And when they started doing some of the other stuff in MMX, when you started having like kind of side objectives as you're playing, to be honest, I didn't really like that. And that's what I'm saying when I say that Zero kind of enhanced it, is because that's what Zero was. It's like, what if we take like the MM5 onward kind of stuff. MMX5. But Zero did it better. Yeah, ZX was quite different. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate the differences. I actually like ZX quite a lot. Most people didn't. I like ZX probably more than I like the Zero games, to be 100% honest. I like Zero 3 a pretty good amount. I like Zero 2 quite a lot. I don't like Zero 1 almost at all, to be honest. I don't like the stage, like, progression. I didn't even touch that ZX Advent. Nice. First and last hit. He had double DP there. He actually went for medium DP. Not that mattered. I beat Legends 1 and 2. I never touched Tron Bomb. Legends is one of my favorites. Legends 2 I only beat once, and it was a long fucking time ago, so I don't remember if I like it or not. I remember liking it a lot at the time, but I only had the inclination to replay 1. I never was like, oh, I feel like I should replay Mega Man Legends 2. I'm kind of surprised that Mega Man 2 is like, I don't know, the one that everyone points to. I feel like it probably is slightly the best Mega Man game, but they're all so close. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone should have a different favorite, but everyone's just like, oh, Mega Man 2 is my favorite. My favorite's probably 5 or 6. I mean, I guess it's 9, actually, is my favorite, if you count that. Three is fine. I don't like replaying some of the levels for the like old Robot Masters in 3. There were like some levels. What's the level with it's like all black and there's like purple like things you shoot, like circles, and they blow up. And there's enemies inside some of them. I don't remember what man that was. I hate that stage. There's like certain stages. There's something I hate in every classic Mega Man game. I would say probably, I don't know, but I like 2, 3, 4, and 5 all about as much as each other. Or 2, 4, 2, 3, 6. 6 as well. They're like super close. How about Powered Up? No, there's a Mega Man. I didn't like Mega Man 1, but Powered Up is pretty good. Mega Man 10's pretty good. Never played 11, but I can vouch for 10. Very nice. I'd say 9 is better than 10, but it's close. 10 has like a bit more content. You can play as like Bass and Proto Man. I think you could play as Proto Man in 9. I don't remember actually. Powered Up's trial mode is super interesting. It's like really weird that it's in the game at all, let alone that they put so much effort into it. I've been meaning to stream that forever. Basically, that game has like 8 playable characters or something, and all of them actually have like something that makes them super interesting and unique to play. And then they design custom stages that are like obstacle courses for each character. Sometimes it's about killing enemies, sometimes it's about like navigating freaky platforming. But an alarming amount of effort went into it. Powered Up's like challenge mode. And also they're really hard. There's also a Mega Man one and like a boss rush one. Mega Man 1 is the hardest, I think. Mega Man 1 is really unforgiving compared to later games. I remember playing as Vile, he was quite unique. That was like the only difference with the Mega Man X PSP version, except, no, there were a couple like weird little differences. Instead of having to get to the end of Armored Armadillo, like 4 times to get the Hadoken, you had to get there once with like not taking damage. And also, the Super Buster you got from Zero dying was better than the Super Buster you found in the stage. I think they moved some of the power-ups around, so it wasn't in the elephant guy. Flame Mammoth. But I always thought that was super weird. The one that the game gives you automatically is literally better than the one that you can find that's like a secret. It's like, why'd they do it like that? Vile was really unique though. He reminded me a little of when you can play as Meta Knight in Superstar Ultra, because he had like ammo. I don't remember. I just remember that it was. I googled it recently and I like found the answer, just to make sure I was like remembering it correctly. So I know that you can find it with a simple Google search. But there was some minor difference between the one you found in the stage and the one Zero gave you, but only for the PSP version. And the Super Nintendo version, they're exactly the same. I thought that game was novel, but like I played Mega Man X in like the 90s. You know, the PSP version is just the same game again. It looks a little better, but I'm not nostalgic for the way it looks. Yeah, there were all the changes were just a little weird. Star Allies, I feel, I don't know. Star Allies has added a lot of cool content, and it's all been free. It's neat getting to play Susie. I feel like Star Allies is a weird Kirby game, but a really solid, like, just action game. You know what I mean? Like a 2D action platformer. The combat mechanics of the game are super duper good. But in terms of, like, exploring and puzzle solving and kind of general Kirby-ness. It's kind of weird. Yeah, they designed the whole game around the multiplayer to the point that you literally can't play the game without multiplayer. So it forces you to make fucking AI, and then the AI do all the puzzles for you, so... It's actually a super underwhelming experience for single player, but multiplayer is fantastic. Wow. The hitter on the ground. He tried to DP after getting parried. Canvas Curse is one of my favorite Kirby games, actually. I think a lot of people didn't really like it, or like didn't really have a strong opinion on it. It's that jump in, far jump in early hard kick into the low parry. Nice. Canvas Curse is the one game that truly justified its touchscreen controls to me. I've never been convinced of another game's touchscreen. No, that's not true. Lost Magic justified touchscreen. It just wasn't a very good game. But it felt like it couldn't be on anything else besides PC. I'm not even just talking about the runes, because you could just have some other mechanic that's not drawing to do that. I'm talking about like the RTS aspects. Whoa. I found Canvas Curse in a parking lot randomly once, true story. I believe it. Portrait of Ruin feels more DSE than the other ones. Damn, imagine if this was true. That would be like the fattest fucking coincidence ever. I remember when DS games all had subtitles that were DS. Remember that? No, I don't just mean like Mario Kart DS. Yeah, I mean like Dawn of Sorrow. Or like what was it, Resident Evil something Survivor? I don't remember. That was like a Resident Evil DS. Deadly Silence, oh. There are a bunch of those. There were like at least 10 different games where they used a subtitle that was like DS. Did you know that DS does not stand for dual screen? It actually stands for developer system. Fun fact, look it up. The best titles in all video games belong to Japan-only fighting games. The next best titles in all video games belong to Kingdom Hearts games. Naturally, the best title of all video games is Melty Blood Actress Again Current Code, which just feels like a really weird machine translation. No, that's not even the best example, to be honest. Oh yes, Arcana Heart 3 Love Max. Is that a game title? I think it is. Oh yes, Arcana, or Nitro Plus Blasters Heroines Infinite Duel. Guilty Gear as well. Guilty Gear games have really stupid titles. The round opener for Million Arthur Arcana Blood. I'd be hella down for a new KF game. Ah yes, Immaterial and Missing Power. Anyone here ever play that? I played that. That's one of the that's one of the Toho fighting games. It's not the good one, I think. I forget the name of the good one. It's like abbreviated to Soku or something. I don't even remember. There's like 2 Toho fighting games, and one of them is supposed to be okay, and the other one's supposed to be less okay. But I only played Immaterial and Missing Power, which I think is the less okay one. Oof, that cross. Ugh. Ken teleports behind. That was clearly going to be a cross-up, honestly. Imagine loving Toho games. Imagine not loving Toho games, but liking little girls with hats. I wonder what the percentage of people who like Toho who have played a Toho game is. Do you think it's like pretty close? Do you think it's like 80%? Or do you think it's a lot lower? Ooh. That was a good dash through. Bullshit. Cheap. I can dash through Necro myself, actually. Mine's a bit more reactable. We'll all know what Toho is once Reimu makes it into Smash. Clip that. Clip that for when Reimu makes it into Smash. What if Marisa makes it into Smash? That's like a real thing that could happen. That's the funny thing. That's not even like out of the question. I think Sakurai had an interview or something like that where he expressed interest in putting a an indie representative into Smash, and that's like Reimu is like the single biggest like Japanese indie character, I think. I don't know. To us, it would be obvious to do Shovel Knight or something like that. But to a Japanese person, they might have another priority. Reimu might be a bit more publicly known around there. I don't know. Might not have the same associations he has here, i.e. with weebs. Nice. Isaac from Golden Sun. I actually kind of... No, I wouldn't want Isaac. Isaac's boring. I'd want like Felix. Or like Alex. I don't know who I'd want, but it wouldn't be Isaac. Felix would be the obvious one, I feel. Or like Jenna, dare I say. Technically speaking, Jenna has like the most screen time of anyone in fucking... Anyone in Golden Sun. Ugh, bad punish. God, how lit would it be if we got like fucking Sora, then Dante, then Goku, all back to back to back, and then we got Minecraft Steve. All the memes get fulfilled for season 2. Remember when Isaac and Jenna had a kid in Dark Dawn? And it's like the main character? Matthew or whatever. Nice punish. Were Isaac and Jenna, were they ever indicated to be in a relationship? Did that just all happen after the second game? I think ARMS is the most phoned in possible thing they could have done, but also, you know, whatever. From a gameplay perspective, an ARMS character sounds great, to be honest. That sounds super unique. It sounds like they could do a lot with that, gameplay-wise. But I feel like ARMS has no, like, breakout character. So, visually, it's not going to be anything impressive or cool. Shoutouts to Dark Dawn for giving us a mage-style Venus Adept. And I think a warrior-style Jupiter Adept, right? Ken sucks. Ken's the worst character in this whole game. It truly is amazing that the only DP that's worth anything is the light one. It's the same as ST, actually. ST Ken, that is, not ST Ryu. ST Ken had that exact same issue of having multi-hit DPs, but only the first hit knocks down. So you have these scenarios where you can hit a limb, or like stuff like, you know, you can not get a knockdown, then you're punishable even though you hit with your hard DP. Akuma actually has that same issue in SF4. So Akuma players only use the light DP in that game. Because the heavy DP can get one hit and the opponent might not get knocked over. And then they'll punish Akuma and kill him. I'm not really sure about SF5 for that. Isn't that funny? You don't really see like meterless DPs that much in SF5. I can't think of a time I've seen SF5 Ken hard DP like get one hit and then fall out and the opponent stays standing. But you just don't see Kens do hard DP almost at all, so like, you know. It's usually light DP for the 3 frame or EX DP for the invincibility. I don't know which hits knocked down. I don't remember people falling out of Akuma's DPs either in 5. I do remember people falling out of EX DP. If Ken's back throw kills, will you build meter if you DP? No. Good question. It has to get to the active frames in order to build meter. Oh, nice red. And if you kill someone with the back throw, you will not, even if you do Ken's fastest attack, which is that light DP, Ken will not get to the active frames in time, so he won't build meter. It's purely for style. Nice. Yeah, I probably will. I forgot about that. I don't even know what high score girl is. None of that combo. M&A. Kids playing classic arcade games and SF2. He had no meter. He got that big old overhead and didn't even do the TC. Not me supering there was good, I think. But his next hit, he's probably super, just for safety. Makoto could still easily take this. Very easily. Ooh, that could have been it. That was a confirm. Oh my god, help! Got him. This kills. Did they play Super Buster Brothers? Did they play Nuts and Milk? Did they play Hammer and Harry? I have no thoughts on Evo being online, except that there will be butthurt tears after it's laggy. Yeah, did they play Bubble Bobble? Did they play Puzzle Bubble? I'm just glad we're getting an Evo at all, to be honest. I don't know if Raiden's actually Japanese or not. I think they actually answered that in the series. It's like he looks different based on who's looking at him or some nonsense. Actually, I don't know if that's it. I think that's not it. I think that a lot of different cultures have different names for him. That's the thing. So, like, when the Shaolin are worshipping fucking Raiden or whatever. Actually, I don't even know if the Shaolin overall worship Raiden. When, like, fucking Japan or some nonsense worships him, he's Raiden. But then, what's his face? Nightwolf worships him too. But they've got, like, a different name for him. Nightwolf's tribe. So it's like he's the same, like, protector god, but he's got different names based on their culture. So theoretically, Raiden doesn't have, like, an ethnicity. But we see him in his, like, fucking Chinese hat. Anyway, it's been addressed before, I just don't remember what it's like. Nice. I can't even imagine someone flying to America in the current state of the world. Although I know it's happening a lot still. Much less can I imagine someone doing it just to have a more local internet connection for an online tournament. I like how every single Japanese name in all of Mortal Kombat there's been like something wrong with it. I don't know if it's all of them, but it's most of them. I guess Dairo is probably supposed to be Japanese, and I can't immediately detect anything stupid about that. Hotaru is like a woman's name. So Hotaru being named Hotaru is a bit weird. Hotaru. Takeda and Takahashi are both last names. So that's kind of weird. That Takeda's like first name is a last name. That might also be true with Hanzo Hasashi, but I'm actually not sure on that one. I feel like those are both last names, but I don't remember. Hanzo? I just don't know. I don't know what kind of name Hanzo is. I know it's like associated with certain things. It might be a first name. I think it is, but I'm not sure. That's probably one of the least stupid ones. The thing is, they have gotten a little better at it each game. There's always some like borderline Japanese or Chinese inspired stuff in every Mortal Kombat. And they've like very slowly gotten a little bit better. Oh, there's the light one into the super. That only gets 2 hits instead of 3 from the medium one, but the light is a lot safer. So it's like you've got a safer action that you can still convert to super, but it'll be a weaker super. Hanzo is the ninja family name. See, I'm a little fucked by that one. Nice keep the corner. Walk away, low short. Into jump instant strong. Big brain plays by Necro. Do you think Necro's actually sorry that he's late? How long did he keep you on waiting? Was that a cross-up light kick? I didn't know Necro had a cross-up. I thought he had a bunch of really deceptive fake cross-ups, but I didn't know he had a real one. Necro's jump is so slow, it's not really a thing you look for. Winning Evo or getting pussy? Probably choose winning Evo. Oh, whenever they have like actual Japanese in Mortal Kombat, it's like kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bad. My Japanese is pretty pigeon, but even I can detect some kind of questionable things about the language they use. They could spend a little bit more money on it. I know it's just some throwaway lines in story mode and endings, but it sounds really weird. It was fun, Mortal Kombat, having all the cameos it did. I feel like they didn't do that as hard with MK11. MKX had quite a lot of storyline cameos. You got to see like fucking Lee May and Fujin. It's cool seeing those two. Lee May is cool. The red. Oh. Imagine how that feels. Does the upkick, like, what does that do that the dash punch doesn't do? I would guess that the dash punch does more damage and builds more meter. But that might not be true. I think the upkick can hit 2 times on certain characters. Like, I think versus, Q, for example, you can do, like, EX upkick into upkick 2 hits. I would actually probably buy that Sonic Fox is getting laid more than almost anyone else in the FGC. But it might not be like, you know, if you like knew the full details, you wouldn't be jealous maybe. Furry gotta get so much tail. Precisely. Ah. That close strong that he got nothing off of. Oh, that was a bit hungry. Wow! Holy shit. That was so unnecessary. Imagine the brass balls you need to have to do something like that. You have a guaranteed win if you keep blocking. And you already have full meter, so the parries do nothing. And Ken doesn't build meter from getting like a super parried or blocked. So Ken's meter build is the same either way. Literally nothing changed because of those parries. Those parries didn't do anything good for Yun at all. But they also didn't do anything bad for him because he got them. It was like purely like a fucking, yeah. Pop off. Mental damage, yeah. I always thought English wouldn't work without spaces. And I was like surprised that any language could work without spaces or something complex like characters that have inherent meanings like Chinese and Japanese have. But then I think someone pointed out to me, or I realized on my own or something, that like spoken doesn't have spaces. I mean, there are points where you pause just because, like, you know, ease of listening and whatnot. But technically speaking, there are no spaces in, like, spoken words. And yet we understand it fine. Kamish mamas. I learned how semicolons worked in English in like high school, and ever since then, every now and then I use a semicolon. Just to flex. It's like I don't want a period here, I want a semicolon here. I'm in a semicolon mood. That would be sad looking. It might not even be red 10. I never really thought about it. I always see that character and I'm like, oh, it's heaven, it's 10. Like Tenki. But, I think they've said before that that character has a lot of different meanings. Generally it means like sky and shit. But, I think they've said before that for Akuma it's supposed to mean immortality or something like that. It had like one of the lesser used readings. I don't remember the other readings for that character. Toshi, maybe? I might be making that up. I don't remember what Toshi is. Maybe that's like Star. No, that's Hoshi. Toshi. This year. I don't recognize a lot of these, sadly. Oh, I've seen this one before. This one can be read as Toshi? I didn't know that. That one looks kind of like the fist kanji. Oh, this one's like the Sai. Look at that one. No, it's not quite Sai. Now I gotta see them side to side. No, it is quite Sai. That is in fact the Sai kanji. I was picturing O for some reason. The katakana O. That whiff punish. Whiff punishing Chun-Li's back fierce is not easy. Hokoten and Nanten. Northern Sky and Southern Sky. I didn't notice that until I played War of the Lions. God, fuck North, South, East, and West. I've talked about this on stream before. It's fucked. So you got 4 different words. You got 4 different kanji that mean North, South, East, and West. And those all had their own little names. In Japanese, you typically use the kun reading, the Japanese reading, for kanji by themselves, because the kun reading is based on existing Japanese words that existed before Chinese was ever like donked into Japanese culture. So like Japanese already had like a spoken system and like a basic writing system, and then they took Chinese and like improved their writing system with it, enhanced it, if you will. And so they already had a word for like North, South, East, and West before Chinese ever came. But for a lot of the kanji combinations, they'll use loan words, and they'll use the on-readings of the characters, and it'll be pronounced similar to the way that the Chinese would pronounce the word. I've got nice examples of that, but I think I won't use any of them. Like maybe the sensei, the sei and sensei. I don't even remember this. Is it like Umaru? Is that it? No. What's the word that's like to be born in Japanese? I can't remember it. It's been too long. Anyway, they already had a word for like life, to live somewhere. And then they had that in kanji combinations, and it'd be pronounced differently because it'd be pronounced closer to how the Chinese pronounce it. So like sensei is like a kanji combination where that same character is the second character. And sensei is like live before or something like that. Before live. But it's pronounced similar to how the Chinese people would pronounce it. Anyway, north, south, east, and west all have uh, they use the kun reading for individual, but when you're saying things like northeast and southwest, they use the own reading. I'd pull up a list right now if I had my phone on me. Wait, it's right here. So Nishi is like west, and north is hold up, what the fuck is north? Kita. Kita, Minami, Nishi, and Higashi for the 4 directions. I couldn't think of Kita. So, you got Nishi for west and Kita for north. But hold on, I'm going to look up the word for northwest. It is Hokusei. There you go. So Hoku is like the other reading for the north character, and Sei is like the other reading for the west character. And because they're in a kanji combo, you pronounce them in their other reading. Ah, beautiful. Gumo. I don't know. Oh, cool jab. And by that I mean, why the fuck was it a jab? Oh, Chun-Li sucks. Chun-Li's great. But the half of Chun-Li's kit is stupid, and the other half is stupid the other way. Cool. There are certain kanji that have 3 or even 4 characters for the single kanji. Like Samurai, actually. Samurai is a single kanji, but it's 4 hiragana. Shikara, that's a single kanji. That's 3 hiragana. The other reading is Ryoku, which is still 3 hiragana. The character Mori? Like Forest? With all the trees? Yeah. There's another one too. I forget. There's like one character that's like Ki, that's like tree. Moku. And then there's another character that's like Grove. Hayashi, I think? I gotta write it. Yeah, look at it. And you can even say Hayashi Bayashi. And that's got like the... You can write it like that, or you can do it with the repeat character as well, I think. Let me see if that's one of the recommended ones. No, it's not. I don't remember what Hayashi Bayashi means, but I remember learning it at some point, and I remember thinking it was stupid. This fucking word that's got like 4 fucking trees in it. It literally refers to some kind of fucking landmark. Some kind of word like that, like grove. And then Mori is forest, and it's just 3 trees. Look at all them trees. There's the tree by itself. My cat's meowing right outside my door. Can you guys hear that? The rectangle with the vertical line through it. This one? It's probably middle. Naga, Chu. It's one of the most iconic ones. It just means middle. There's a couple other things it can mean, but they're all like based on the word middle. For example, China is known as Chugoku, which means middle country. You'll be interested to know that in fighting games, they use the word chupan, perhaps, or chuashi, to refer to the medium punch and medium kick. Sometimes they say pan for the punches, and sometimes they use like the ken, the fist. For the kicks, sometimes they use the word kyaku, and sometimes they use ashi, which is like foot or leg, depending on context. Daiashi! I usually hear ashi for the feet, but I've heard the kick too. Like the Daipan loop for El Forte. Daipan is just hard punch. It's the hard punch loop. Like Chuashi Hoyoksen. Shagami Chuashi. Shagami Chuash. Shagami Chupan. Shagami scratching. I love watching Yun's health melt, but I also hate watching Chun-Li land that super. What a difficult situation I'm in, watching this matchup. I don't want either of them to win. That was weird, seeing the sweep. Was that an accident? I think that was an accident. Command grab into forward dash. Frankly, I don't see that being deliberate. My chat is slightly cut off. No, it's no longer slightly cut off. Oof. Damn, you know Reddit? You know the subreddit R relationships? I saw a post in there one time where it was like a girl who found out that she was Indian, and she found out that her boyfriend's previous girlfriend, his ex, was also Indian, and this was like in America. And I think he was black, not that it super mattered for this story. But she was like he wasn't Indian, basically. And her post was like, "Is he fetishizing Indians?" And everyone was like, "You're reading way too deep into this. What if he just likes dark-skinned girls with straight hair?" It's kind of an interesting quandary. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really like the word fetishizing in general, to be honest. When is the next Cooking with Bath? Ooh, that was nice. But that was the word she used. She was like, is he fetishizing Indians? It like made her super uncomfortable. I guess I could definitely see how that would make someone uncomfortable. If you like think of something in the right way, you can make it sound so much worse than it is. Or maybe the wrong way. And if you think about something in a particular way, it can be a lot more extreme. I generally don't think it's like a big deal that people like. Everyone has sexual preferences, or like appearance preferences for their partner. They might be strong or not strong, but everyone has. Like, you shouldn't like freak out if people like stuff or don't like other stuff. I'm sure that you like particular things too. If some guy just says, I want to fuck a girl with a big fat ass, you know, that's okay. It's okay to chase after girls with big fat asses. If that's what you want, you can do it. That was a EX spinning bird kick getting stuffed by an animal. To be such Chun-Li is suffering. To be Chun-Li on Wake Up is suffering. Ironically, I think Chun-Li's only good Wake Up is actually SA3. I don't remember if SA1 has Wake Up invincibility. It might. I think it does. Wow. She didn't burn that meter. She kept it. Fat asses. There's a limit. I've liked most asses I've seen, to be honest. I don't like it if it looks unnatural. Like if it looks like she wasn't born with it. Sometimes. I've seen asses that might have been artificial that looked good. But if they got like fucking ass implants that don't look good. Those have been some asses that I haven't liked. But generally my strike zone is huge. I don't know. I like video games. Step one. Love me some cellulite. That's some people. It's not me. I don't have a strong opinion about cellulite, to be honest. It's not like a turn off. Same with stretch marks. I have no opinion on stretch marks. Man. Veiny boobs. I have seen veiny boobs. It's whatever. I feel like veiny boobs can work if she's like older. Gives it a extra little mature flavor. There's a Japanese word that's like when a girl is not that hot. but it's like Girl Next Door or something like that. It's like someone who definitely doesn't have like a porn body, you know what I mean? But it's a taste in and of itself. And I feel like I have that. When someone looks kind of ordinary. Or maybe not even necessarily ordinary, maybe even unsexy. But if it's in particular ways, it can be cute in and of itself. Realistic expectations, pretty much. You guys would probably all recoil. If you saw my Pornhub searches, you'd probably be like, Baff, what the fuck? I wonder if I should just leave it at that, or if I should clarify. Alright, I'm gonna leave it. Please share. Lesbian hand holding. That's like almost a search I've made. So joke's on you. I've searched kissing on Pornhub. I've been that guy. I've been like, I feel like looking at some kissing. That shit's good, honestly. I like watching two people slobber all over each other. Do I need a kiss? What if you looked at porn your whole life and you never got laid, but then you finally got laid, but then it wasn't as good as porn? It's like I need fucking... I need hot MILFs in my area or I can't get off. Takes too long. I wouldn't take too long. I'd be done in 1 minute. Oh, hold on, my mom's calling me. Yeah. My mom made shepherd's pie. I want a girl who I can fucking masturbate and she can be there next to me. And it won't even be a big deal. That's the life. I mean, that's not specifically what I'm holding out for, but that would be cool, wouldn't it? No, I don't want NTR style. That's it. That's what I want. I want cute girl to give me a casual handy while she's browsing IG. That sounds good. Damn, have you guys ever heard of free use? Go on Pornhub and look that up. I think one of my friends is really into free use. I don't know for sure. But he's had some free use adjacent, like talking about what he likes. I don't search free use. Well, it's not one of my big searches, but I know about it. No, not like on a hole. Well, I guess like on a hole. I don't know. When I think of on a hole, I usually think of like the tool, not referring to a woman as an on a hole or whatever. Stuck in wall. Well, I wasn't thinking about free use per se, like bondage per se. I didn't know that was part of it. I just meant like, you know, neither party like gives a shit. Oh. Look at all that stun. Doesn't matter, he's dead. That parry. The double, I always talk about it. We finally saw it. It actually got all 6 hits on Makoto. That did so much stun for the tiny combo that it was, but then he just died. Hold on, go back. I want to see that combo again. Look, she has 0 stun. And then he gets back strong into double super and she has 70% stun. I wonder if the a-cho guys would find me. Wouldn't that be funny? They're like, take it all down. I'm like, ah. Gotta only do the east versus west from then on out. It's like my worst nightmare. One time, Ketchup and Mustard found me looking at Fexel footage that they put up. And they chewed me out. And I was like, sorry, when I took it down. I think it's one of 2 times I've ever taken down a video. Because someone told me to. It's not that I usually don't take videos down, it's just usually people don't tell me to. No, 3. That's one of 3. I won't say the other ones. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said the Ketchup and Mustard one. It wasn't like, it was actually their footage. It was like me in the wrong. No, Gutex was one I took out of my own volition. No one told me to take that down. I told me to take that down. Oh, imagine if Necro won. I mean, how was I really supporting Fexel, to be honest? How are there always people who have never heard the story of me fighting Gutex? Gutex's tournaments have all been on Saturdays, that I've been working Saturdays. I've been following both the ones that I could have entered. And both I was like literally working right then. That throw. It's unlisted. If you type in random letters on YouTube for long enough, you'll probably eventually find it. What is this? I want to click on it. Am I about to get rickrolled? Another fight is coming your way. Oh, it's the story of me and Gutex. Ken's in a... okay. Bit of a dire spot, I was gonna say. No meter in that health difference. Guessing my password, yeah, I guess it would be easier. Close strong anti-air. Why not close fierce? Close strong is faster. What if you built more meter doing that? Makoto's design is good because she has big feet. Who the fuck wrote that post? It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. No, I do have symbols in my password, actually. I've got 2. I'll read more fanfiction when I have another boring part in a video game that I'm playing. That requires no input from me, because that's the only times I've ever read fanfiction, I think. What have I done? I've done Metroid High School. I've done, I think I've done My Immortal. I've done, the one with Ash and Pikachu falling in love and getting married. I feel like I've done at least another one. I wish I could say, Azzy, that no one's ever done that, but in fact that's happened before. However, I don't think I still have it, so I can't show it to you guys. It was a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago. It was at least like 3 years. Let's read the fanfiction where Red 13 goes through puberty. A friend fiction? Is that what that is? Is that the name for that? Good lord, what happened? Was that a fucking comm can? Time out. Did anyone else see that round? What happened? He just fucking died. This is like how I normally play against the comms. Just fucking spam moves over and over and just don't give a fuck. Damn, Ken just died. Oh, that parry. I think I recently saw the first episode of Super Mario Bros. Z, actually. One of my friends was telling me about it. Oh, hold up. It was like a Newgrounds Flash, right? I think the first actual one. I didn't know there was a remake or anything. It was just Mario and Luigi and like, I forget. There might have been some kart racing and like an invader of some kind. I don't know why not SA3 against Makoto. In general, Dudley can pick SA1 or SA3 in any matchup. It's just kind of weird to see SA1 Dudley these days. But it's not bad. It's like the same. Dudley's fucking 1 and 3 are interchangeable, honestly. 1 is slightly stronger, 3 is slightly cheaper and slightly safer. That's it. It's the end. Depends on which one you want of those. Depends on what you value. 1 is actually kind of appreciably stronger. And 3 is appreciably cheaper and somewhat safer. Final Fantasy dating RPG? No, hell no. I played Galaxy Angel. And I think there's a Love Hina one too. But I didn't know there's a Final Fantasy one. I've never even seen Galaxy Angel. I don't know a thing about it. But I've definitely beaten the Galaxy Angel dating sim more than once. Did you get all the achievements in Orgasm Girl? I did. If only I could stream that game. But I can't. I'm a god at Orgasm Girl. Damn, he parried that? He's still gonna get a punish. Make a video, put it on Pornhub of me playing Orgasm Girl and getting all the achievements. My Orgasm Girl speedrun. For those who don't know, Orgasm Girl would be just a generic, like, I don't know how to call it, like, stage game. But the thing about it that's really memorable is that it's fucking hard. It's a girl to sleep and you have to give her an orgasm without waking her. And it's like, it was really famous at the time for being, like, nightmarishly difficult to not wake her. It's like more like a puzzle game than an H game. Whoa. The Dark Souls of porn games, precisely. I'm pretty good at co-op. You guys want to see me play co-op? That's not an H game. Most people who play co-op either don't know how to play it at all or are like horribly bad at it. One hit only. Sad. But I'm like okay at co-op. I haven't played it in a bit, so I probably have to like figure out a little bit in order to really start playing it. I'll play a little bit of co-op right now. Hold up. Let me get this shit situated. Co-op. Alright, hold on. Add window capture, co-op, subregion, select region. Oh wait, hold up. It's been a while since I played this, so go easy on me. Yeah. Alright, here I go. That's how most people look when they first start playing co-op. Ooh, that's not a good start. I think I'm holding the button too long. Hold up, hold up. Maybe a little bit of O. Oh, that's too much O. Alright, hold on. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. There we go. Oh, that's kind of awkward. No, no. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, that's good enough. Played some co-op for you guys. Where were we? I've beaten it. I've only beaten it like twice. If you can like get past the if you can get past the hurdle, you can win pretty easily. Madness Games? There's more than one. I remember Madness Interactive. That's the only one I remember. Madness, like 11, came out like less than a year ago, I think. It's crazy that shit's still going. It's good too. I used to go to a website called SF3, which stood for Stick Figure Death Theater, and it was just a whole bunch of videos of like stick figures getting killed, random fucking flash animations by random people. Madness has so many things that show that the guy who makes them clearly cares a lot about his work. There's like a lot of continuity, and a lot of it's really subtle. Or like there'll be posters on the wall and you have to like zoom in to see like how the tiny text, and it'll have like lore on it. There's a lot of little things too. Like he'll play around with like some of them have like a full stereo, which you probably wouldn't notice, especially not back in the day, unless you're wearing like headphones. It'll be like him shooting to his left and you'll hear it in your left ear. Whole series is full of little moments like that. The quality is just really alarmingly good. That was probably unsafe. My MySpace? No, it was nothing. I was like the last on board MySpace. I only had like 5 friends ever in MySpace, and then Facebook was already replacing it. I remember Stick RPG. I remember it was always like at the top of most played games, but I didn't even know how to play it. I couldn't figure out a way to hurt people besides just picking them up and dropping them. I think eventually you could like buy archers. Never played Sherwood Forest. Oh, Stick RPG was the town one. I was thinking of what was that one? What's the one where the sticks attack you and they like you? It's a castle. Stick RPG was the one where you could increase your like knowledge, or like your attack or whatever. You could like go to college, and there were like a certain number of hours in the day that you had to use intelligently, and you could make money. I remember that one. I remember Stick RPG. It was like a skateboard, I think, that you could use to get around faster. And like one of the main parts of the game was like bar brawling, because that was like the only way to use your attack power. It's like you could work out to get stronger and then use that to fucking bar brawl. I think there might have been magic during that too. It's a really goofy game, but for how little there was in the game, there was a surprising amount of replay value. Or like a surprising amount of grinding available. Love that combo. Beefy fucking damage. What did he start at there? Look at that. Look how much damage that did. One stand roundhouse. She had like 95% life before this combo started. Didn't even use that much meter, like a full bar. It spent an EX as well, but it built back the meter spent by the EX. And yeah. Platforming. That's one of my all-time favorite games. N plus and N plus plus. It's like a proto Super Meat Boy. The physics feel very similar. Just reach the 50-meter hurdle in co-op. Good shit. I've gotten to that hurdle many times, but only a few times I've ever gotten past it. This could still go either way, by the way. Alright, never mind. Well, I don't know. Still a thing. Okay. Mario game with Flood. God, I remember, dude. I forgot all about that. The Flash games that were just very shitty home games for the people who couldn't buy them. Like the fucking Mario World but Flash and Sonic the Hedgehog but Flash. And they're way shittier than Mario or Sonic, but you can't play Mario or Sonic because you don't own them. So that's why you're playing Mario Flash at the fucking school library computer. I could have been a Flash dev. I should have been. That would have been my jam. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. Wow, he just got stunned with a low light kick. That does so little dizzy, it's weird to see it stun. I only settled for being an actual dev because, like, Flash is dead. Otherwise, I would just be a Flash dev. I used to make RPG Maker games. You guys know that? They weren't, like, good or anything, but I made them. Me and my brother made a huge one. This is a peak brother story. This is like the kind of thing that brothers do. We made a game called well, I think the actual name of the game was like Kreskin's Adventure or something like that, and Kreskin was just the name of the fucking main character. It started as a serious game, but then it just turned into like us fucking around. It was like you just donked you down in like a fucking little sandbox, and there were like NPCs everywhere. And there were like a zillion ways to die. Like every NPC would have some weird way of killing you. So the entire game was just purely like, you know, you die in some weird way, you get a game over, you respawn, you talk to someone else and die in another weird way. It's like I'm gonna teleport you to fucking space and then chase you, and if I touch you, you die. And even if you run as fast as you can. Or like if you just let it catch you, you die in one way. But if you run all the way to the end, it's like, oh, you escaped, but you died anyway. Or like there's a guy you talk to him and he like pulls a bow out and he like shoots you. He's like, go stand over there, this won't hurt or whatever. And then you fucking stand over there and he shoots you. And then there were a couple of like random NPCs that just did stuff. It's like, oh, I'll change the music for you. And I went from a MIDI of like fucking some Van Halen song to a MIDI of a different Van Halen song. I think overall we made something like 108 different ways to die, and then that became the title of the game. It was like 108 ways to die. And then we like burned it to a CD. It was made in RPG Maker 2000, RM2K. When I think back about that game, I think of raw, pure, unfiltered soul. That's what that game was. That game was pure soul. There was nothing but soul. I'd actually like to do something like that again. It was goofy. He could have super confirmed those two low jabs. That's a real confirm. RPG Maker VX. Is that the latest one? No, there's like a XM, isn't there? I don't know, actually. I'm not up to date on RPG Maker. I looked it up somewhat recently. Monster Girl Dating Sim is... I did more work on that than you guys would probably guess. But it's not in anywhere near a releasable state. I also did a decent amount of work on the bad platformer, which probably will eventually get released, but it'll be basically the quality of a Flash game. Well, it'll actually be a much lower quality than the Flash game, than a Flash game. But that's kind of the point. But I made a decent amount of the bad platformer. I think I've mentioned it on stream before. Originally, I was just working on it without telling anyone about it. But then recently, I like kind of brought up. It was going to be called Bunnix the Bob Hog. And I've got a huge list of things that would be in the game that would make it awful. I actually started making it in Game Maker. And I made some pretty bad physics. It probably wouldn't take... With what I know now with Game Maker, I could probably like make the game pretty fast, to be honest. It's not like it would be super long. It would probably only have like 10 levels. And the levels would just be like, go around, collect the gems, get to the end. Shit like that. Would you guys play Bunnix the Bob Hog? This Alex player is pretty good. The game I'm actually working on is like Pop 1. Bunnix the Bob Hog is not like anything. It's not even like Gex, Bubsy, or Sonic, which are the three things it's parodying. I guess it's parodying video games in general. You could always make action RPGs in RPG Maker, it's just that it's not designed to let you. I think the most recent RPG Maker just lets you do side-by-side fighting instead of like POV. You can do your Final Fantasy style battles instead of your Dragon Quest style battles. But like people have used RPG Maker to make space shooters and shit. Yeah, that's how to win. Last one was mental damage. Oh, the overhead. That overhead's so beefy. Fortunately, that super is safe if it hits midair like that. God, this Alex is pretty good. Beat Quap? Oh, fuck. That whiffed command grab. I only got like 20-some meters or whatever. I don't even know if I got that far. Don't tell me it's your first time beating it. I know how to make tasks. I should make a task of Quap. No, it would involve spreadsheets. I would need to know the exact number of frames to make it the fastest, and I would need to like manually time it. It's your first time playing Quap and you beat it this fast? 5 attempts? How the fuck? You probably found the crawl method, right? Yeah, one leg shimmying. That's how I first beat it, but now I can actually run. One leg shimmying is a free win until you get to the hurdle. And then you've got to actually make it over the hurdle, and then you can go back to shimmying. Sambo is real good against Alex because he's wide. You can get looping pressure against him. Wow, what a good fucking wake up. Red parries are very strong against Yang's pressure. Regardless of what the initial blocking direction is, the follow-up parry direction is usually high. It's hard for Yang to put together a series of lows. Sides repeated low short. Mid-air connect. Could be worse. Alex was down 2 matches last time and made a 3-0 comeback. Oh, what the fuck was that? Yang's command grab range is literally like as big as Alex's, to be honest. And also Yang's command grabs do more damage because he can combo out of them freely and Alex can't. Fucking defend this design. Did the devs ever play Alex versus Yang? Love that suplex. I really like the Kensible towards Fierce change in SF5. I feel like that's probably my favorite Alex change compared to like how he is in Third Strike. That makes a lot of sense. The way that back turn works in SF5 is very low effort, but it's still better than the way it works in this game, which is not at all. They basically just made it so there's a programmed state. Like, you can't do anything with the back turn in SF5 except the custom backdrop from the Fierce version only. But because of that, you can't do, like, hard flash up into Lariat, which works in this game. And because that's not possible, you can have stuff like, you know, Lariat into hard flash up without having infinite. It's nice for Alex to finally, I don't know, it's kind of annoying that it has the side swap, but it's nice for Alex to have such a beefy, like, combo, because that's something he always kind of sucked at. Despite the fact that Alex seems like he would be a heavy hitter, his combos are actually extremely weak. He's got the same problem T-Hawk has in all the games he's in, where, like, on paper his damage is high, because the individual hits all are so powerful. But because he has so much trouble stringing together even a short combo, like what the fuck is T-Hawk's max damage fucking punish? Meterless. It's just like stand strong into heavy uppercut. And that ends up not doing that much. It does like 300. I don't even think it does 300. Doesn't do anywhere close to 300. The heavy SPD does like fucking, I mean heavy uppercut does like, I think 150-ish. And the close stand strong does like, I forget, like 70. Just estimates for both numbers. Heavy SPD was pretty close. That did like 250, I think. So I think both options were pretty similar in damage. Or like 240 or something, 230. I don't remember the number. It's been too long since I played fucking Ultra T-Hawk. Both sides of this mix-up did similar damage, but there was no way to improve either one. Like the only way to improve his damage for 2 bars was to do EX uppercut to EX dive. Wow. Grab the corkscrew. You can't do that post freeze. You have to already be grabbing pre-freeze. Nice. Anyway, Alex is the same thing where fucking Alex just like doesn't hurt you. It's like, what's his max damage punish in this game? It's literally like heavy flash drop into suplex, max damage meterless. And if you can't get that, it's like close forward into light chop, which is nothing. Does a smidge, and there's no way to improve it except EX chop, which like does have better Oki, but doesn't have a huge damage increase considering you're spending a bar. I mean, it is stronger. But it's like compared to a lot of 1-bar combos in this game, is kind of underwhelming. It also loses hits on a lot of characters, which is stupid. But I feel like Alex has good balance in his combos in SF5 comparatively, where there's like a lot of combos you would do. You got shit like fucking 2 crouch jabs, light flash chop if you only have time for like a 4 frame, or like 1 crouch jab into light flash chop. And then you got stuff like stand strong, stand jab, light flash chop as like a confirm. Stand strong to fucking whatever, slash elbow. Light slash elbow. You got stuff like towards fierce, stand strong, medium slash elbow. Or towards fierce, stand strong, medium chop. So that's like, you know, a bigger damage confirm. And then you've got stuff like towards fierce into heavy chop. If you don't need the confirm, you just have the confirm already, like it's a punish. And that's the strongest one yet. All of them are a little bit frustrating to modify. All of them don't convert very well into other stuff. Ultra Geef was the same a bit. His damage increase was 4 bars. You could increase damage a little bit for 1 bar with EX hand. But usually you just took a grab for punishes. It's rare to see a Geef do like button into EX hand as a punish. Nice. He did 4 parries and one of the hits whiffed. So he parried 5 times and missed the punish because of that. Anyway, it was really good when Geef got 360 kick point blank, because that did like a lot of damage and left him point blank for a mix-up. So yeah, that was true for Geef, but like compared to T-Hawk, the thing about T-Hawk in Street Fighter 4 is that he had better Oki on his weaker command grabs. Weaker command grab. So like if you did light command grab, you had good Oki, and if you did heavy command grab, you had 0 Oki. So it was like always better to do light command grab. The damage was so rarely useful compared to Oki. You want light command grab for the extra reach and extra damage, and the extra reach and the extra Oki, and fuck the damage. Who cares about damage when you get better reach and better Oki? So it's very silly. It didn't feel like there was good balance between the versions compared to like SF5 Geef, where it's like, you know, light has quite a bit more range, and then heavy has quite a bit more Oki, and they do about the same damage actually. I think for SF5 Geef it's 200, 210, 220 for his 3 SPD versions. So you're basically just choosing about reach and follow-up pressure. So all 3 of them feel very necessary. Resident Evil wrestling / fighting game. I agree. I buy it. Every character is Wesker. Why wrestling? What about Ari as a wrestler? Oh, he had a super there! He could have supered! There are certain Ari characters who I can see wrestling, but it's not most of them. It'd be fun just to have a Resident Evil fighting game, though. Maybe it'd be highly projectile-oriented. You could, like, shoot each other with guns. Competitive RE Mercenaries mode. Who can kill the most zombies, and also you can attack each other. It would be like guns. RE versus mode that's like guns online. Holy shit. That'd be a day one buy for me. That'd only be like a few characters. I don't know if he had to parry that. He looks like he went for it. He did it just to be safe. He's like, I might be chipped here. Let me parry. And he missed the red parry. But I think he was still alive. It was tricky anyway. I mean, not everyone's Wesker. It's not like Leon's going to be flying off the walls and shit. I've never really thought about like what would be my most hated fighting game character. All the fighting game characters I hate are the characters I like fighting the least in games that I like. You know what I mean? So it's like I would like this game more if this character didn't exist. But I never thought about like what if I was gonna Frankenstein my own like least favorite fighting game character, what would they be like? So it's interesting to read that post. No one's really that character in Third Strike, but I guess it's... I don't even really hate fighting Chun-Li. The character I hate fighting the most is probably Yan. But I'm really bad at fighting Yan. I'm also pretty bad at fighting Yang because like, you fight them very similarly, Zora. Those characters cause me to play the most irregularly. And they're also like very rarely played online. So I don't get much experience against them. And a lot of my like big tournament elims in Third Strike have been from Yan players. Just how it goes. Yan players are good. And Yan is strong. Chun-Li is strong too, and Chun-Li's the worst matchup for Oro on paper. But it's not my worst matchup. You know what I mean? I think I would do better against a great Chun-Li than a great Yan. Just purely because I know how to play against Chun-Li better. Ooh. Same with Yang. Saurus is a modern AQ. V-Skill 2G is a modern AQ. Like, actually, though. Apart from Oro, I don't have many strong opinions on anyone in Third Strike, to be honest, even though it's like one of my all-time favorite games. It's more the engine itself I like. There's nothing super interesting about Ryu or Ken in Third Strike. It's just that the engine makes fighting Ryu and Ken very different. It's hard to explain. In order to exploit the Oki the best, Ryu and Ken have to go for, like, you know, stuff like meaty load short or meaty low forward versus like meaty close strong or close fierce. And I have to predict which one. So it's not anything about those attacks that's interesting. But the way that wake up parries work is fun. You know what I mean? It's not anything about Ryu or Ken, it's the engine. Ryu and Ken have to make particular decisions based on the engine to make themselves hard to read. I have to make reads based on that. Making reads is fun. Third Strike is make some reads the game. Could confirm. If Third Strike didn't have Aura, though, I probably wouldn't like it that much. I would like it like some, but I never would have gone super far with it. The engine is pretty cool. That's something about Ryu that's actually unique and interesting. Of course, it's also heavily tied into the mechanics of the game. But it's not something like, you know, it couldn't exist. Obviously, it couldn't exist outside Third Strike, or at least not in the same way. But it is a Ryu-specific thing. Or it just has fun combos to hit. His damage maximization is super weird. He's pretty straightforward to play. It's mostly just like poking and looking for close strong, and close strong is safe, so you don't have to be super careful about it. You can just hit it whenever you want to. But once you get that close strong, you've got so many routes. I literally have like 20 plus routes just from fucking close strong that I use regularly. Based on whether the close strong is confirmed or not. Based on whether I need damage. Based on whether I need a side swap. Based on whether I need stun. Based on corner carry. Based on whether I want to use Super 3 or EX Super 3. Or Super 2 or EX Super 2. And all of those are viable and important. Based on what my current needs are. Close strong unconfirmed even has several different routes. If you do close strong 2 hits, you can do walking close strong 1 hit into medium stomp, and that's max meter build. You can do medium DP. You can do walking close strong into neutral jump hard kick. You can do walking close strong into forward jump hard kick, neutral jump or forward jump medium kick for a closer Oki. You can do walking close strong into SA2, SA3, EX SA2, and EX SA3, and they all work for different things. Even off of just any close strong, I get like 8 different routes based on what I need. Optimization is really fun, basically. And movement is fun, too. He's got really good movement. The progression is really good with Oro. Oh, that whiffed its first hit. Sad. Risk of blocking is almost non-existent. That's like not, it's not the risk of blocking that's fucked. It's the motivation for blocking. Blocking is quite good because those need to do that much damage. And blocking dodges a lot of mix-ups that, like, are mix-ups against parry, so people do go for those mix-ups because they're anticipating a parry. Blocking, and I see that complaint a lot, but blocking and parrying are actually, like, fairly balanced. in SF3. I think a lot of people just think that parrying shouldn't exist when they say that. Because, like, you see a decent amount of blocking and a decent amount of parrying. But people just think that parrying is, like, too good. Because it leads to damage and blocking doesn't. But, like, good players will do a lot of both. Even though parrying leads to damage, people still block. And they still block about as much as they parry. The risk reward is actually fairly, like, correct. If parrying was riskier, people would just parry less. Or not at all. And that would, like, I don't know. That would make them more balanced. And one of the main things I think about it is that parrying and blocking have the same fundamental niche. So they are very easily compared. A lot of people are like, oh, like you can't compare them like that, but I feel like you can. You deal with the same scenario by blocking or parrying based on your mood. I think parrying is really fun. I'll talk it up. I feel like people don't talk about the funness of parrying very much. I think you should start with something fun to do. And then balance, like, take balance from there, obviously. You can't just put parrying in any fighting game. But the idea of parrying is fun, so let's have parrying. And then let's do our best to make it balanced. I feel like that's a better recipe for me having fun. You know what I mean? Than no parries at all. So it's not that parries equal fun. You can't just throw parries into anything. But parries done well is more fun than no parries to me. And this game does parries better than pretty much any game I've ever played. It does accessible parries better than any other game I've ever played. Making 3S parries less rewarding would probably be prudent. Or like somehow improving the balance between parries. Like so every character gets similar damage rewards. Or maybe not similar, but like the really simple change they could make would be if parries just had a special cancel window. So like Ken could do a DP out of a parry, but he couldn't do like a fierce out of a parry. And that way, like certain characters would still get more damage out of parries. Like Hugo could get a heavy SPD out of a parry. Twins could maybe get a command grab out of a parry. But it would normalize it a bit. But I feel like the risk of parries is not something that needs adjusting. Or the amount of, like, I don't know. The fact that parries are so accessible is a good thing to me. That they've got such a big window. It feels like if you've got the read, you can get the parry once you're like halfway decent at this game. It feels like, oh, I know what he's going to do, so I'm going to anticipate it, and then you anticipate it, and then you get it. No, I feel like you don't need to make parries more punishable. I feel like that's the wrong direction to fix them. That's the direction people almost always want to go. But that's not very fun, I feel. People always want to make parries more risky, or they want to make parries worse. I feel like less rewarding would be a lot like you would keep the fun of going for the parries. But instead people are always like, oh, make the parry window smaller. Or like, oh, take more damage if your parry was wrong. Or stuff like that. Guest parrying is fun. I want to keep guest parrying. Just make it so you don't win if you get a guest parry. Yeah, SF5 changed it in the wrong direction, I think. But SF5 should never have even tried that parries, I feel. That parry looked fancy, but actually it was fairly easy. I don't know which direction Ken parried, but it could have been either. That's the funny thing. SF5's parries have hella recovery. They have like actual whiff animations. I don't know the number. It's probably something like 20. Are there any moves that are so plus on block and hit and low on startup that theoretically the other player could only get out by parrying? Not that like loop into themselves. I mean, that's almost what Hugo Clap is, but it's super slow. It's probably gonna whiff. Oh, I got him. But Hugo Clap is like the recovery is so short that it's only barely more minus by parrying it. Just because the parry recovery is like the natural recovery is almost 0. Hugo's Clap is probably the closest answer I can think of. But it does push back and it does have long startup. There is no recovery on whiff, and there is no animation on whiff, but as I understand it, crouching in Tekken is a little bit scary in and of itself, right? Because mids are often unreactable and often lead to good damage. If you see a string where you know one of the hits is low, it's probably not super risky. There seem to be. The most recent a-cho was in like 410. He could have done dive there. That would have been crazy. I wish he did that. That would have been really fucking sick. I've seen that before. It'll be like neutral jump parry on a predicted DP, and then Alex can do down fierce here. And then it causes a float state, so he can then juggle into like a towards fierce or something like that. It might not work against Ken's light DP, which might be why he didn't do it. Yeah, I don't even know if that was a good trade. Look like both characters took similar damage. This is Dizzy. Ooh, he didn't get the juggle. That would have been a kill combo. I'm surprised I didn't stun. Low fears, rare footage. Necro's got some weird buttons. Necro has like 5 buttons that no one ever hits. It's not that they're useless, they're just like kind of weird. You don't see neutral forward very much. You don't see low fierce almost at all. You don't see standing roundhouse very much. Actually, that might be it. Living Mongolia? No. Nice. Big damage jump in. This is a March 16th upload from a March 6th replays. The most recent one is April 10th replays. I don't know when they were uploaded, but it was after April 10th. Necro's got a really neat kit. He feels intact. I didn't play Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, but I have nothing against the block button on paper. Yeah, Third Strike does have a light, medium, heavy priority. I didn't even know about that until people told me. After it turned out that SF3 was having one too. I knew that supers beat like non-supers. But I didn't know that like heavies beat mediums during trades. That kind of scenario isn't something that happens a whole lot. It is in certain poke wars. That's pretty much the only time you see it. You don't see it like in frame traps in this game because people don't do stuff like that much. You don't really like light your way out of frame traps that much. And when you do, you don't do it when fucking Ken's close enough to get close strong. You ruin ambiguous cross-ups with a block button. If there's like cross-up block stun and then like pressure based on the block stun, that's intact. But everyone treats cross-ups. People used to say that a lot when Mortal Kombat 9 came out. It's like, oh my god, because of the block button, you don't have to worry about cross-ups. But a lot of people were treating it like it was some essential part of like a fighting game. The fighting game didn't work if you didn't have cross-ups. It's like, yeah, whatever. That's like one mix-up, and it's kind of a stupid mix-up anyway. I don't know how Granblue does it. But generally, I think that's a pretty, like, it's not a super important argument. It's just, like, how you have to play the game. Now, you can have certain attacks that are really fucking stupid to block, like Scorpion's Teleport, where if you don't have a block button, that would be, like, really broken. And my go-to example is Injustice. Injustice 1 added Scorpion, and his teleport is literally, like, instant and hits you on the other side. Remember that shit? Remember Injustice 1 Scorpion? Scorpion's teleport doesn't work in a game with back to block, because he just fucking shows up behind you and hits you. God, Injustice 1 Scorpion was a treat. Every little part of him was really dumb. So there are certain things that can't exist in a fighting game unless it uses block button, but I wouldn't say they're a big deal either. I don't really like the idea of... It works better as a core mix-up to have throws punish blocking, like outright just punish them. But I kind of like the option select components of it. I kind of don't want it to be as pure of a mix-up. Like in Injustice, or I mean in MK11 and MK10, if you get thrown while you're blocking, you can't take the throw. In SF, you can take a throw while blocking with like a delayed tech or a crouch tech or whatever else. Yeah, that move is pretty scary. It pushes back, so you can't just do it endlessly. He has to do a little bit of walking forward. But he can definitely get a few of them in a row, and it's kind of overwhelming when it happens because of how fast it is. And when I say a few, I mean like 3 or 4, if he's got good walking. It doesn't lead to much in this game, though. It leads to super, if Dudley has super. But you can't like link a roundhouse like you can in SF4. You can link a DP. I don't think I've ever seen a Deadly player do that. I've seen them cancel into DP. Oh. Yeah, but you can't really cancel on reaction. You can super on reaction, because that's a link. Nice. Good fucking super. Good duck. Quack. I kind of like parries in Smash Ultimate, to be honest. They may indeed be an afterthought. Tricky spot. They're definitely hard to get. I remember watching some Donkey Kong player early on in Smash Ultimate. I forget what his name was. But he was constantly charging up that big old donkey punch. And once he got it, once he had it stored, he would look for the parries and then go for that when he got one. It was kind of hype. It's definitely a whole different beast from third strike parrying. Nice punish. Everyone stop saying party. I'm getting sick of this. Nice. He messed that up last time. That was unsafe. It was technically punished. Not a great punish. There was no great punish there, I don't think. What's funny, it was Yan who won that tournament. You guys know that? I never really thought about it. I'd seen the tournament before, but someone brought it up in here recently. And it made me laugh. It was KO that won that Evo. Young player. And Daigo and Justin Wong were like playing for the rematch in Grand Finals. So Justin ended up coming third in the tournament, and Daigo ended up coming second in the tournament. And that wasn't like Grand Finals or anything, that was like fucking Losers Finals. Isn't that kind of funny though? KO won the whole event, he was just like a complete afterthought. Always play a match like it's the match that's going to get you famous. Yeah. Unironically that. That destroys the mirror? No, it doesn't. That's weird, I thought it would, because that destroys hits of projectiles. Most attacks don't destroy mirrors. Or most attacks don't destroy projectiles in general, but attacks that destroy projectiles can, like, break the mirror. But I guess that one doesn't. Mirror 6 hits, and Dudley Corkscrew Blow is only 5. So maybe it just isn't quite. KO, I don't know if he still plays. He played for years and years and years. He stopped playing Yun and started playing Yang eventually. And that might have been motivated by just he liked Yang. But it also might have been motivated by SBO doesn't allow two of the same character on a team. So if he played his Yang, he could play on a team with a Yun. But if he played on a team, if he played Yun, like, you know, he was the only Yun that they had. Most people agree Yang isn't as good as Yun in Third Strike. But KO's Yang is like almost as good as his Yun, if not better. It's like very close. He's like a contender for the best Yang. He would be like one of 3 that you would probably list if you were trying to figure out the best one. A lot of people like to say Roshi Ikari is the best Yang. And then there's a few others who are quite good. There's a lot of footage of Furo, so people like to say him. And he is good, but like, I don't know if he's one of the best. Who else? This is like fairly standard Ibuki to me. It's good. It's a good Ibuki player. Ibuki can slow down the game quite hard. It's kind of an interesting thing she can do. Her options are genuinely very good, defensively speaking, in a game where like characters rarely have different defensive options. There are a lot of subtle ways that she's safer than other characters that kind of offset her low HP weakness. Nice. That does a lot of stun. Super basically ignores the mirror from Ibuki. That was nice as a punish. Urian had to like cancel that into something, and there wasn't anything super good to cancel into. It's hard to do tackle or headbutt or knee drop without charge. Taunt was potentially possible. Oh, this is nice. Sunbar's backing up. There it is. Why was that his kill combo? Oh, because it's round 3. Typically for a kill combo with Ibuki, you see something like Jump Fierce, Stand Forward, Raida. Ibuki's played a bit more robotic than a lot of the other characters. No, that's a bad thing. Is that an EX move? I think it was. He like barely spent an EX and then got stuffed immediately. Shoto close medium kick. Which one? They've all got different ones. Ryo and Akuma have the same one, I guess. They're like slightly different in SF4. And functionally they're kind of different. The knee. Yeah, that's the one. Ken has a close forward, it's like it goes up. I don't think he has one in this game. Or I like can't picture it. It's not a good normal if it exists. In SF4 it's quite good. It's got a lot of plus frames. But it has kind of a lot of pushback, so it's a mixed bag. People used it for frame trapping. They do like crouch jab, close forward. And then if you got the counter hit, you could link in Ultra 2. That was clearly going to hit him. I'm surprised he didn't block it. Nice. Oh, I didn't get the kill. That parry's not super hard or anything. It's a lot easier if you have a character who moves forward when they parry. The way Yang does. I am probably... Hold on. Let me verify. I'm probably going to go get dinner. Because my mom made a shepherd's pie and I kind of want to eat it. I've been here for a while. How long? A few hours? 3 or 4? 3. Yeah, I'm going to go get some... I'm going to go get some food. I might be back later. I might not. No promises.